Stuck tuning slides are the worst, and we got to figure out how to get them out of there. This guy is moving just fine. This guy's not moving worth it all, and this guy is moving just fine. But this guy and this guy are really stuck. So let's show you how we get them out. What I like is to find an old drumstick, and you can see this one's been around my shop for a little while. It's broken off, and I've electrical taped it up. But these guys work great for this process. I want to show you how this all works and how you can do it yourself. What I do is I take the trumpet. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to take the trumpet into the position, or the instrument to the position where I can get it, to where I can get this fairly level and this perpendicular to that. So where this is coming off at this angle, this is coming off perpendicular to that. Does that make sense? What I'm going to do then is I'm going to use the largest mallet I've got, and I'm going to make contact right here. I'm going to make sure that I'm glancing, and I'm not going to hit the horn. I want to make sure I come in there, but I'm going to make my contact right there. Now, up here, my hand is holding clear up here, so I've got plenty of room on this shaft to hit, so I'm not going to whack my finger. And I'm going to make sure I've got this large hole that I don't hit the horn either. So I'm going to come in here, make sure that this is clear back against this crook. And when I'm doing this on these small tapered crooks, I'm just fine. I'm not going to dent anything. The density of the inside of the crook is a lot more dense than the outside of this. You can see how it's been dented out here. That's because it's soft. On the inside, it's got a lot of material in there that they're actually quite hard. I'm going to take my mallet and tap it. See how it moved? That means it's broke free. Now I'm just going to go back to my hands and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle him out of there. Now it's time to get in here and clean these tuning slides off, as we explained in the video. But once that's clean and these guys are clean, this guy will function just great. The next one I want to show you is the main tuning slides. These require more tools and a little bit of more care. So there are tuning slide pliers, and they come in different sizes for different size tubing. Choose the one that's appropriate to it. These guys also have a screw that goes through the jaw here and prevents these guys from closing so we don't actually crush this tube. Now these guys are kind of tricky because this particular horn has this ring that's built on the outside slide. And I want to get on this edge right here. I don't want to be on this, I don't want to be over here, I want to be on this edge right down here with the back side of these. If you notice these pliers, they're perfectly flat surface back here, but they're actually fluted. They get skinny and come down at an angle on these sides. The reason that's fluted out like that is so it can reach around ferrules like this. So we're going to put these pliers in place. We're going to relax that screw and see if I can actually get these down to make contact. Which I can't on this one. These rings are actually making it to where I cannot make contact here. So I'm going to try two other tricks to see if I can get them out. The first one I'm going to do is use penetrating oil. I have sprayed penetrating oil into a needle bottle like this, mostly because I hate the smell of the stuff. And I'm going to apply, and the second reason is so I can apply it right where I want it. I'm going to apply a decent amount of oil to both of these surfaces. Use my torch and heat this area up. I'm going to turn my heat down fairly low, and all I'm trying to do is warm this up. I'm not trying to unsolder anything yet. I just want to warm it up. Penetrating oil has a tendency to work its way toward heat. So as I warm that up, it's helping that oil get down inside that gap. Now penetrating oil is flammable. If we did it in the spray version, you could get a really good flamethrower going. In this version, if we try to light it on fire, we might get an orange flame like that. That's about all we're going to get. None of that's going to do any damage to you, or, well, don't put your finger in it, but it's not going to damage the horn. So we've got all that warmed up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just a spray bottle of water and try to cool those off quickly. I'm trying to expand and contract that metal fairly stiff. I'm going to put this back down in this position, and I'm going to do something a little sketchy. I'm going to hope that this brace holds. I'm going to take my stick and I'm going to come into this part of it. I'm going to use my body to prevent this from going any forward. And I'm going to use my mallet and tap on it. I'm not going to hit nearly as hard as I did over on that one. And I'm going to flip it around, get that nice and tight in there. To see if I can get any movement out of that slide. And so far I got nothing. We're going to go back to some more heat. leave things hot this time. I'm going to cool this brace out just in case I got it hot. At this point on this type of slide, because I can't get the pliers in there, I can't hit it nearly as hard as I want to. So I'm going to have to rely on the penetrating oil to do the overwhelming majority of the work here. And that's going to take some time. I'm going to put more and more penetrating oil on this over the next course of a day, day and a half, and really allow that oil to do the work of breaking all of this stuff free. If I try to go any harder or faster, what I'm going to do is unsolder stuff. If the penetrating oil doesn't work, I'll actually unsolder this crook and put in a large brass bar that I can actually turn sideways and break those tubes free. Right now with two of them in there, I can't turn them sideways, but if I have these independent where I take this brace off and this whole crook off, then I could turn each one of these if I had a big bar in there that I could break it loose. That's pretty advanced stuff. We're not going to be talking about that in this course, just showing you what's possible out there. Most of the time you can use your stick to get the tuning slides out and move on. Get the things cleaned up, get them lubricated, and get it back in that horn and playing.